Guys, what's going on? What's going on? It's good to see you guys, man. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. I hope you guys are doing good, right? I hope everything is well. I hope you're all doing good. Thought I'd do a little day shift today, guys, for Friday, Yeah, guys, here, let me drop the link earlier for anyone who wants to come on up, guys. And guys, this Sunday, 9 p.m., guys, we'll do the rise of Christian feminism, right? So, guys, make sure that you call in because I want to have a big panel for that, okay? And guys, let me share my screen here. We'll break some news. We have a couple topics. This won't be that long, but I say that every time, guys. I just say the stream's not going to be long this time. Hold on, guys. Give me one second here. 1 second. Okay. Remixer, what's up, dude? Carlos X, what's up, man? Lenny's here. John says he who matters has arrived. What's up, man? Let me see. All right, guys, let's break some news, shall we? Hey Remixer, yeah, that's right. You have a channel, guys. Here, make sure to go over to Remixer's channel and drop him a sub. Hold on. Here he is. Oh, here. How about I subscribe to you too? I think I'm subscribed to you on one of my other channels. But here you go, man. Guys, make sure to go over to his channel and subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying?
From one court.
Oh, guys, here we go. You guys remember the whole brick lady thing, guys? The brick lady. Well, she's back in the news again. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here's another one. Guys, hold on. I'm gonna do a courtroom madness live here pretty soon. I haven't done one in a while. I just gotta make sure that I save these ones. Okay. So yeah, guys. You guys remember the whole brick face lady? She's in the news again because she is a knucklehead. And here we go, guys. Here's the story.
Consciously, when are you going to apologize? Because that little heifer was scamming. I told you she was scamming. She was lying. When you going to apologize? The apology being accused
Interacting with
of making the whole woman known as Brick Lady charged in Houston after being accused of making the whole thing up, raising $42,000. So nobody read the article though, huh? Consciously, when are you going to apologize? Because that little heifer was scamming. I told you she was scamming. She was lying. When you going to apologize? The apology better be as loud as the support for her too. And before we even get into what the article proves and disproves, let's state the obvious. A lot of y'all don't have as much hope and legitimacy into the system or the legal process until it's about disproving support of a black woman. Then all of a sudden, y'all become legal advocates. Because just a couple of days ago, y'all was all about Martin Luther Majors being a victim of the system because his victim lied about the details in which how it happened. The article proves that she was assaulted, but that she did not give the correct details about how it happened. According to charging documents, Osman and Douglas were in an argument and Douglas reportedly swung his right hand while holding what appeared to be a plastic bottle and struck Osman in the face. Now, why is the headline written in the way to presume she made the whole thing up when the article itself states
she did make the whole thing up? Oh, guys, I think this guy's one of those pro-black, B-dubs or Queens knuckleheads. You know what I'm saying?
that she was assaulted, but that she allegedly lied about how she was assaulted?
maybe because she was the one that said she was hit upside her head with a brick.
Yeah.
So for the people in the back, the reason why she's being charged with fraud is because law enforcement has said, no, you were assaulted, but you lied about how you said you was assaulted. Therefore, all the money you raised is fraud, which literally leaves me scratching my goddamn head. Now, the GoFundMe that is being called into question was about helping her recover and paying for medical bills because she was assaulted. Now, the article itself states that she was assaulted. So what a fraud come in?
Because she was saying that she got hit by a brick. and you had medical bills. If that wasn't the case, it's fraud. You absolute dunderhead. Why are they so stupid, guys? Why? Why do these simps think? Come on, man.
Beta!
Dude, come on. Matthew, what's up, dude? Eli's here. Laughing man, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you.
So y'all gonna piss on my hand and tell me it's raining, huh? The article also states they were able to find video of the defendant and another person who they believe was the accused assaulter. They got in the car. They both got out the car. The defendant slapped the male, who responded by slapping her back. He did have a water bottle on his hand, and we think that's what left a mark on her face, but it was mutual combat. That's what they said.
Which means the entire gimmick of a man asked me for my number and I said no, and in response I got a brick or a water bottle upside my head is a lie.
So they charged this woman with fraud because she said she was hit by a brick, but they said she was hit by a water bottle, but they do acknowledge she was hit. They do acknowledge it was marks left on her face. So she can't get a GoFundMe to take care of what. And then this.
Guys, this would be like saying, oh, I said that I had cancer, but I actually had the flu. But wait, I was sick, right? Dude, if you're having people donate based on a particular level of effect, right? And that didn't actually happen? Come on, man, that's fraud.
This is really the part that had me scratching my ass. TikTokers provide police information on Osman false claims past alleged scams. During the investigation, detectives said they received call from Daphne Sutton, a mental health advocate and blogger on TikTok, who believed Osman was conducting a scam because similar situation happened in Minneapolis in 2020. Daphne Sutton, the queen of accountability that literally made about 30, you know what I'm saying? It's exaggeration. I say probably like 10 to 15 different Twitter videos about her calling Houston law enforcement.
And you're mad because Daphne Sutton's right. It made you look like a fool and call this guy out and makes money off of calling out B-dubs.
And it's saying, hey, Ro, yeah, she's scamming. Queen of accountability. So according to law enforcement, it was a plastic water bottle that left this mark on her face. Not no saline, not no injections, not that she made it up. Like, it was a water bottle, apparently. Second thing, they claim in the article it was mutual combat. That's what the law enforcement said. But one individual had a object, the other one did not. And the individual that had an object was a man, but it's mutual combat. Interesting.
Yes, because when you hit first and then you get hit back, that is mutual combat. I'm not certain what you're trying to say here. That's a lie. I do know what you're trying to say. You're making it a big issue because it's between a man and a woman. And the man hit the woman after getting hit with an object. Not really much fair, but still mutual fucking combat. And as it went on, it came to the understanding that Rhoda was not really a trustworthy individual. And it's led to now where she's going to be in court, I believe at the end of July, facing a potential 2 to 10 years in prison because of all the lying and deceitful actions. And apparently a lot of financial documents will be brought to the forefront to try to get an understanding on whether or not this person.
Guys, isn't it funny? Guys, we've seen B-dubs get hit by cars, get, hit by bouncers and get up without a scratch, and they think a water bottle did this. You know what I'm saying? Here we go.
Keeping her foot on that woman's neck. Rhoda Osman is officially headed to jury trial on July 24th of 2025. I said last year that taking this to trial would be a dumb move, and I was right. Her entire history is coming with her, from prostitution charges and crashing into a wall while driving under the influence to giving police a fake name, and even her past scam in Minnesota that netted her nearly $5,000.
Prostitution charges? It figures, guys. Are we surprised? Are we surprised?
You tell her she's a goddamn whore.
It's all admissible. The prosecution will also be using the videos I sent to the detective, her TikToks, Instagram lives, and Facebook clips where she threatened people and mocked the legal proceedings. Let's not forget the interviews she did with content creators while under investigation. Every bit of it is now.
Laughing Man says, can someone tell me how you can gift sub something? Like, is that a different platform? Because YouTubers only super chat. Guys, you can either use Cash App or Venmo or Super Chat or gift memberships, guys. You know what I'm saying? So thanks to all you guys that support. Yeah, the Venmo and the Cash Apps at the bottom of the screen, guys. Thanks to all you guys that do the Cash Apps, guys. You can give some memberships too. So
now part of Discovery. GoFundMe's risk manager is set to testify, and subpoenas were issued for all her financial records, including donations she received via Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. If found guilty, she's looking at 2 to 10 years. And the kicker, she was already on probation for assault before the brick incident, meaning she violated that too.
Look at that. Cooked. She's cooked. Guys, we'll revisit this one story right here, okay? We'll revisit this one story. You guys remember with that? We went over this in a live stream not too long ago. You guys remember this? Guys, I want you to put in the chat yes or no. If you saw some 304 having Nug go upside her head in public, would you stop and help? Y for yes, N for no. Okay?
Random attack at Grand Central Terminal. The victim, recovering tonight, says he was physically attacked overnight after trying to step in to help a woman who was being verbally attacked. Well, tonight, that Good Samaritan telling his story only to Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger.
He has a shattered eye socket, a broken jaw, a giant gash in the back of his head.
It's not a way to live. I'm not liking the city, my city, and I grew up here. I'm born and raised.
And from his hospital bed tonight, Kenneth Haygood described the encounter he had early this morning while waiting for a 5 train home from work as he stood on the mezzanine at Grand Central.
And then I see a woman over there, very attractive, standing by herself. And then all of a sudden, this guy appears, and he starts yelling in her face and waving his arms in her face. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Is he getting ready to hit her or something?
He says he walked down the stairs to the platform, put himself between the man and the woman, and called 911.
Yeah. Like, where's he at? I said, he's coming at me right now. He's walking towards me with his, intent. And they said, where's he at now? I said, he's right in front of me.
Kenneth says he was speaking to dispatchers when the man attacked him. The next thing he knew, he was in an ambulance.
He has a cranial brain bleed, lacerations in his head, fractures all up and down his orbital bones.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. Guys, good. No. Good. I'm so glad that my subscribers have some sense. You guys, hit the StreamYard button for anyone who wants to call in. White out. What's up, dude? Guys, I would never, ever step in. Ever. Guys, you will get got so fast. You know what I'm saying? Dude got stomped into oblivion, man. He got involved in friggin' homeboy said stomped a mud hole in his ass and walked it dry. Black World Travelers, what's up? Matthew says he has a serious learning disability. Facts. Well, actually, no. Matthew, he doesn't have any more because there's no way that he could have not learned that lesson. There's no way that ass woman can't teach you a lesson.
Hours later, his sister Mia called that Kenneth was at Bellevue after the man had knocked him down and kicked him repeatedly in the head. Cops quickly caught the assailant, who they say has multiple prior arrests, including at least one assault. The woman didn't stick around.
My brother is in
You guys hear that? You hear that? Right? She didn't stick around.
I mean...
Oh, yeah, you're right, guys. Yeah. Yeah, he does have a learning problem because he does say he'd do it again.
He's paying for it right now, but I am very proud of the man that he was raised to be, and the fact that he saw a woman in distress.
Would you do it again?
Hell yeah, I'd do it again. Hell yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck, that's what's about to get increased.
How stupid can you be, guys? How stupid can you be? This is, guys, put a 1 if you agree that this guy's gonna get himself killed. He's gonna get himself killed. Guys, so we'll do like another 10 minutes in the chat for everyone, and then we will go members only. So guys, then you'll have to either be a member or hit the StreamYard link to call in, okay? So.
Because that could be my mother, my sister, anybody else. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that in my presence.
You did that in your presence. And look where you are now. 8-Bit Banger, what's up, man? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. As usual. Mikey, how's it going, man? Good to see you. See you now, guys. Dating apps are cooked, man. Cooked. Hold on, let's see. Guys, put a 1 if you agree that you got to be an absolute dunderhead to be on a dating app, right? Guys, dating apps are stupid. They're dumb. They're useless, right? There's a lot more guys than chicks on the apps. And that top 1% get like more. Guys, the top 1% guys get more matches than like the top 10% girls. It's crazy. Guys, Chad and Tyrone are freaking Zeus and Odin on the freaking dating apps. You know what I'm saying? Clown world. Richard Brown, what's up, dude? Who do I miss? Dante, what's up, man?
A way for people to meet these days, maybe even fall in love. Dating apps gained widespread popularity in the mid-2010s and saw a significant increase in usage during the pandemic. But are we now witnessing the digital love story come to an end?
So our Queen City News chief business correspondent, Taylor Young, she's joining us now. And Taylor, a lot of people swiping left nowadays just on the dating apps in general.
Yeah, and for those of you who are fortunate to have never had to download a dating app, swiping left simply means you're not interested. This is really a significant shift considering just 6 years.
This is such a weird looking chick, right, guys? Look at her face.
Years ago in 2019, dating apps saw around 300 million downloads in 1 year. And really,
no, I haven't seen the Who Said That trend on TikTok. I'll have to check that out. Wait, someone said man keeping? What's that? Man keeping. What? Man keeping. Why single women are giving up on dating? What the hell is this? What? Man keeping. Why single women are giving up on dating? As the male social circles continue to shrink, their partners have to take on more emotional labor. Guys, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait 1 second, guys. Pump the brakes. How can this be a thing if chicks say men aren't emotionally available? Isn't that weird, guys, that these chicks say that they want a guy who opens up emotionally, and now they're saying that they have to do too much emotional labor? Guys, come on.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Look at this, guys. Increasingly, the dynamic in a heterosexual relationship seems to be that a woman's tasked with coaching her partner through his problems. What are you talking about? They're trying to say a whole generation of men don't feel comfortable opening up to their male friends, which means that some dump their worries on their female partner. Guys, what kind of goofball beta males are they talking about, guys?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Guys, isn't it crazy? These chicks can talk out of both sides of their neck, right? They're trying to say that men aren't emotionally intelligent. Men don't communicate. Men don't this. But at the same time, they're overwhelmed by men's problems. What are you talking about? Guys, this is why well, first of all, this is why you never, ever open up to women. This is why you never, ever tell women your problems. Because they invent terms like man-keeping. What are you talking about? This has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, because I have to do a video on this. Absolutely insane. Guys, you had two different groups of women trying to speak for all women. This person's trying to say that women are overwhelmed by men talking about their problems. And then the other group of women say men don't talk about their problems enough. Guys, these women can't tell their head from a freaking hole in the ground. And guys, these are the women saying that, that men wanting to be stoic is toxic, right? But at the same time, they're man-keeping. Come on, man. What is going on? Ephraim, what's up, dude? York, how's it going? Who did I miss? Tin Man, what's up, man? Anonymous, how's it going, man? What a joke. What an absolute joke. Hey, man, first things, thanks for that, buddy. Appreciate that. What a joke.
Since then, we have been witnessing a significant decline. Now, it's a trend that is absolutely impacting the companies who supply these apps' bottom line. So just this week, Bumble, one of the most popular dating apps out there, announced it will be laying off 30% of its workforce. That's
30% of its workforce. Hey guys, I'm gonna do a live stream, right? Maybe on Tuesday. We're gonna talk about the times where women talk out of both sides of their mouth, right? Meaning, you guys, Bumble, you guys know they're like, oh, men are so horrible on dating apps. But then they made an app called Bumble where chicks have to message first. Bumble's too hard. Bumble's not fair. So wait, what do you want? You can't have it both ways. Men are toxic because they don't communicate. But now we're man-keeping. I want to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom because the man needs to provide. But now my husband works too much. Guys, what is going on? Absolutely insane. I want to be with a strong, assertive, alpha, attractive guy, right? But I want to get married to him, not give him any sex, and then not have him cheat. Yes, Matthew. Bumble was created by feminists. And all these chicks do is whine and moan about how it's not fair and how it's so much anxiety because they have to message first. What do you want? Put a 1, guys, if you honestly believe these 304s are children. They're children, right, guys?
amounts to about 240 positions. Now, the cuts are slated to save Bumble about $40 million a year, which the company says it will be reinvesting into new products and tools for users. Now, while Bumble did not specify exactly why it's making these cuts, it is a warning sign that the dating app industry is having to make changes in order to keep attracting new users. And Bumble isn't the only one struggling here. Rivals like Hinge and Tinder have also implemented workforce cuts in recent months. Now, I will say one change companies are reportedly looking into is the adaptation of AI into this, kind of making maybe matches more compatible so people aren't necessarily wasting their time.
Wow. All right. So the data has really changed since 5 years ago during the
yeah.
pandemic. Yeah. Why the shift?
So I think over the years, many people turn to dating apps out of convenience, right? We all work full-time jobs, or the majority of us do. And it's just a lot easier to maybe sit on your couch and swipe through people that you're interested in. And I mean, it does turn out that many people have found success in this. It's estimated about a quarter of couples today met online, me and my husband included there. But not everyone finds love or finds success in using dating apps. for many users, particularly Gen Z, I mean, they're feeling kind of burnt out, this dating app burnout, and they're citing that it's kind of an impersonal experience. It's really detached. And this has led to a lot of people, specifically in that demographic, which you could imagine is probably the largest demographic using this app, are kind of walking away from it.
Okay, so I'll overshare. I am someone who's single, who is not on the dating apps as of right now, kind of for a lot of these same.
Her single? You don't say.
Reasons. And I'm curious to know if your research has pointed into other directions where people are meeting places instead.
Absolutely. We're kind of going back to how things used to be, right? So there is definitely this shift towards organic in-person meetups. We're talking things like singles events, speed dating, hobby-based hangs. And out of curiosity, I kind of looked up in Charlotte, how many single events are there going on? I mean, there's several just this weekend. So while
guys, don't we all know, guys, that guys don't go to singles events, right? Right, guys? Guys, put a yes or a no if you'd ever catch yourself dead at a singles event with all these stupid, desperate 304s. Come on, man. Captain Palsy, what's up, dude?
While you are seeing the dating app industry kind of struggling, I do think there's another niche out there for other companies, whether you're a restaurant or a brewery, that can kind of capitalize on this need to want to meet people in person.
So is this a temporary shift, you think, or is it signs of maybe a more permanent shift of how people are meeting?
Yeah, and I think that's a question that a lot of people in this industry are asking right now. But what I do think is permanent is kind of this shift in mindset, right? I mean, could the days of mindlessly swiping left or right be over? But I don't think that, dating apps are going away anytime soon. I think what we're kind of seeing right now is these companies kind of reading the writing on the wall and looking at, okay, people want these more personal experiences. How can we do that? They're looking at AI to kind of help aid that. So it'll be really interesting.
But the issue, guys, is that women are lazy daters. They're lazy and they're entitled, right? And the dating apps gave them a way to lean into that laziness and then always act like it was someone else's fault, right? But guys, the thing about these chicks trying to go to these speed dating and all this other stuff, guys, is they're gonna go from, there's no men in the dating apps to, nothing but, first of all, there's hardly any men at the events, right? And the ones where there are men, they're just gonna look them up and down, and it's gonna be like that stupid balloon popping show. You know what I'm saying? Guys, women's entire attitude has ruined dating as a whole. And that's because, once again, back in my dad's day and my granddad's day, it was just in the town, right? It was middle class, working class people who were in a small town or in a small city, and everyone made it assortively. But now these chicks are on the internet, and they all think that they can get a Leonardo DiCaprio, some millionaire, some billionaire, some rapper, some rich guy, whatever, right? And now everything's screwed. And guys, once again, single guys that are actually successful, average success guys, above average success, and extremely successful guys, they're not on dating apps, and they're not at singles events. These guys don't have time. They're working. Even the average guy who's trying to get ahead, right? Making 60 grand a year, 70 grand a year. Maybe he has a regular job. He's making 55. He has a second job. He's working 60 hours. He doesn't have time to do this. If chicks, guys, I try not to be too prescriptive. I'm trying to be more, but guys, if there's any chicks out there listening to this, I know that there's not a lot. If you are a decent looking chick and your head is not in your butt and you want to find a decently successful guy, you have to go to where successful men are. You have to. What do successful men do when they're not working? A lot of them are working on cars. They're playing sports. They're playing tennis. They're playing friggin' darts. They're playing pool. They're playing golf. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cycling groups. A lot of successful guys do cycling. You know what I'm saying? Go there. You have to make yourself available There's guys that don't have time to chase these friggin' nasty looking broads. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting to see, AI is incorporated so much in our lives already. Now it's going to help us match with people that we could potentially end up marrying. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
It's true. So guys, look, you go dating apps going out of business, right? So we saw that Bumble's laying off 30%. Hold on, what's this? This is another one.
England's dating scene has some mixed reviews.
It hasn't been that
Look at that. Excuse me, ma'am, on the left. Would you like to do an interview? And what about your friend? Broderick, look, dude, they're all yours.
Don't say that, bro. I'm a virgin. I got a virginity to maintain, especially in this case. I'm like, you think that could get in a car? It's gonna be like that. Remember that one rapper lady from Detroit?
Dank DeMoss. Yeah. Dank DeMoss. Yeah. Look at that, guys. And here's the thing: these chicks went out to a bar, like thinking that they're gonna get attention from dudes. Like, what is going on?
great. You see a lot of people that you know, which I don't like.
A lot of nothing. Every once in a while, there's someone where it clicks and you have a good conversation, but it'll just be, one quick message back and forth, and then the conversation fizzles.
The dating apps don't seem to be helping.
So I feel like in Rhode Island, it's just a little bit tricky because everybody knows each other. Then using the dating apps is kind of just the same thing, recycling and everything. But I found someone off the dating apps. He's perfect for me. I love him.
This generation, sometimes it may be hard to find someone who's genuine, who you can have a real connection with. And especially, I don't know, Rhode Island is so small. Everybody knows each other. So it's hard to find people.
So far, pretty good. A lot better than dating apps, though.
I think it's really hard to meet people right now with the online dating, and I've tried that. And so I'm kind of trying to get away from that right now.
University of Rhode Island Associate Teaching Professor and licensed couple and family therapist Elizabeth Briggs-Grubel says she has noticed the
Elizabeth Briggs-Google? What kind of name is that?
Generational struggles of dating.
The older the generation is, the more interest they have in dating apps. The younger generation is, the less interest they have in dating apps. Yeah. And again, if you think about it, dating apps were a new trend.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of younger people meet on Snapchat and Instagram. Guys, I remember back when there was people that I know who met each other through Facebook. I'm like, wait. You went out on a date with a person that you met on Facebook? That's so weird. But Instagram, Snapchat, I always thought that was odd. But once again, guys, I'm Gen X. So
I'm about to throw you a blast from the past. Remember Bebo?
Bebo. What's that?
That was a social media app. That was another one of those apps that people met up and, they went on dates from.
Oh, okay. Chief, what's up, dude? Let me see. Falafel, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, guys, dating apps were supposed to be for guys. Hey. Hey, Broderick, what's the one quote unquote dating app that's still doing extremely well in this time? If you can call it a dating app. What's the most degenerate one out there that people use, that certain people use?
Tinder.
No, guys, Grindr. Grindr, of course, is still doing just fine, and that's because all these zesty dudes are out here still friggin' spreading around diseases. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one.
Who's dating people off of Grindr?
No, dude, it's zesty guys. You remember Grindr's only for friggin' LDHD TV dudes. You know what I'm saying?
So it's not for regular women.
Oh no.
Well, the opposite sex can't go on there.
Now, they tried to make it so that chicks that thought that they were dudes could go on there, but the dudes weren't having it. Whereas all the lesbian apps were forced to let transformer dudes on there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so they had a whole little revolt going on.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Watch. Hold on. Meeting at called transphobic. Here you go, guys. So this chick right here, she is a
happy lesbian.
So she made an app called Her, Her, right? And it's for lesbians, right? You know what I'm saying?
Lesbians.
It's for women to actually find friends. But guys, that's me typing. Guys, I type. My keyboard's here. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm typing stuff, it's because I have to search for things in Google and in YouTube. So, but yeah, guys, look. So they almost shut this app down because they were saying no transformers.
Invisibility Week. Happy Lesbian Visibility Day.
Happy Lesbian Visibility Day to trans and non-binary lesbians. Happy Lesbian Visibility Day to everyone other than actual lesbians.
You ever notice how we always focus and ask on the trans person that is transitioning if they're coming out of a divorce or a relationship, and never and of course, the main lesbian app, previously lesbian app, not going to mention their name, wrote this status, made it all about non-binary and trans people.
See? Right? So they were like, hey, we want a place that's specifically for
lesbians.
And of course, all of the transformers, all the dudes in dresses, right? They said,
how dare you?
So they were really fighting themselves over this.
Oh, Broderick, they do it all the time. This is why us guys, we just need to sit back, get some popcorn, and watch them eat each other alive, man. Because
How'd you come across this, AJ?
Oh, I've done videos on this for like the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? On all this stuff.
You got the link?
Yeah. I can find it. I have a whole I think I have a whole playlist on lesbians. I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, guys, there's been the whole TERF thing, right? Guys, that's feminists versus the transformers. And then we have the whole Schmizgel versus Schmalesteins, right, over there, right? And then we have, what's the other big one? Yeah, there's big rifts over there on the left. They are the most tribalistic group. And I told you guys, this is why I think like only 4 out of 10 people call themselves conservatives or Republicans, right? And all the rest are either well, I think there's like 10% call themselves independent. But guys, the Democrats are actually a much larger party than the Republicans, right? But the thing is that the Republicans, there's some tribalism, but they'll just circle the wagons. Guys, guns, Jesus, capitalism, and Orange Man for the most part, and that's it. That's it. That's all they have to agree on. And strong border policy. That's it. The wokes, you have to be pro-climate change, pro-transformer, anti-orange man, anti-capitalism, free healthcare, free student loans, dudes in women's sports. And the list goes on. BLM. You know what I'm saying? If you aren't any of that, you are disqualified.
Sounds like a lot of effort to act like a sweet tart.
Yeah, and here's the thing: this is why you can never bend the knee to the wokes ever, because the moment that you try and be on their side, they're always trying to find a way to disqualify you. Broderick, okay, here's a good example. You know how we always say in hip hop and stuff that in black culture, X artist has fallen off. He fell off. You know what I'm saying?
Haven't you released the album in the air? No, fell off.
But it just seems like when it comes to hip hop and R&B that we're trying to disqualify the artists. We're always trying to find a reason, right? Whereas The Rolling Stones have been touring for 50 years. A lot of rock and roll artists and stuff, their fans will there is no, the Rolling Stones fell off, or a Guns N' Roses fell off. Whereas, like, in the Black community, we always try and find ways to disqualify actors, sports, athletes, musicians. We're always trying to find a way to tear them down. Whereas you don't see that in a lot of other communities. You know what I'm saying? You don't see
rabbits in the bucket mentality.
Yes,
AJ.
exactly.
It's
Facts.
exactly that. It's like, oh well, he's not doing anything for me, so let me not uplift him. Matter of fact, let me just find a reason to spit in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like,
there was a guy that I knew. He's a Hispanic guy. And he used to always go to Mark Anthony concerts. You guys, you know who Mark Anthony is? He was Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband. Mark Anthony. This guy. Dude, he's big in the United States. But guys, in the Latin world, because he's huge. He's huge. He's like Elvis in Mexico and Puerto Rico and Panama and Guatemala, right? This guy that I know, he would go to his concerts because there's all these drunk, desperate, single chicks there. So he would just go and smash all these chicks, right? But guys, Mark Anthony, he will never fall off. His fans, that's not even a concept.
I mean, not with all those desperate, wanting and lonely individuals going to his concerts.
Yeah.
They got the real fandom going down over there.
But guys, that's kind of like the people on the right kind of have that more than people on the left. People on the left are trying to disqualify each other so fast. If you say the wrong thing about climate change, you're done. If you're some person who's the wokey woke, matter of fact, there's a woman named Jermaine Greer, and she's an old school feminist who's Australian, who did all this stuff for women's rights and battered women's shelters and stuff in Australia. Because she's another where she doesn't believe in transformers being in women's spaces, right? So now she lost her job as a professor, her speaking engagements, her last book didn't sell. Everything she's done for quote unquote women's rights in the last 50 years has now been destroyed, all because she doesn't believe in the whole Transformers thing. Insane.
It's like 15, 20 years ago. But now they're the norm. And so for younger generations, dating apps are not new. They're old.
Briggs Grubel teaches Gen Z students.
What I would have called dating as a college student is not what they call dating at all. So Gen Z describes dating as when you're officially with somebody. And all the things that lead up to dating are very different. You could be hanging out with somebody. You could be talking to someone. You could be in a situationship. You could be
You could be having sex already, right? Guys, let me know, guys, if you agree, right? Guys, the whole situationship term is these feminists that are trying to claim the last vestige of power that men have. Hold on, guys. Men control access to relationships. We will always control access to relationships and who gets married, because you will never see en masse women asking men out, asking men to marry them. It's never going to happen. Ever. So what happens is that they try and say situationship so that they can label the relationship. They can say that something's happening. They can say that it's not just casual. They're trying to dodge the accountability of being some 304 who's just randomly letting Chad. Well, it was a situationship. What are you talking about? That's not what he said. You know what I'm saying? No, guys. Guys, the chat will go members only, guys. So, guys, make sure to either hit the join button to be a member or call in, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys. the whole situationship. How many times, guys, have you heard these chicks? Well, when we were in a relationship, and the guy's like, no, we weren't. Rajai, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, man.
And you know, as
what were you saying?
I was saying, you know, a lot of this whole occurrences with this notion of, as they term, situationship.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very avoidable when you do a little something called self-restraint.
Yeah, but these women aren't gonna do it. Dude, guys don't mind being in a situationship because guys are getting sex. Here's the thing, guys, Chads and Tyrones and Nugs and Gavins love situationships. Because, guys, chicks are getting friend zoned by guys. They're basically casuals, they're jump offs to Chad, right? And then they have their way of being able to sleep at night is saying a situationship. These chicks have no self-control because they're dickmatized by a Chad. You know what I'm saying? But guys don't give a damn. Can you imagine? Here you have Chad, and he's on college campus, and there's 3 girls that are all just okay with him coming over after a frat party, and he just goes home. What does he have to show restraint for? It's the chicks. These women, they have no self-restraint at all. They act like, oh, it's all Chad's fault. Well, why don't you not give Chad all the vajayjay, right? How about that?
Coming, but it's not dating. All of those things are just the precursors to the official dating.
According to a 2024 Forbes article surveying 1,000 Americans who used dating apps that year, 80% of millennials experienced app burnout, 79% Gen Zers, 78% Gen Xers, and 70% baby boomers. Too many options and the search for authentic connections, shared values, and safety.
There's no reason why baby boomers should be out here dating, guys. No reason whatsoever. These knuckleheads.
Why is Gen X on the list?
Hey, guys, here. Check this out. This is completely random, but guys, I'm doing a video on chicks with botched surgeries. Hey, Broderick, check this out. Check this out, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Watch.
In a meltdown. I get married tomorrow, and the smile.
What a waste of money.
Guys, look, her mouth doesn't move.
So AJ, you gonna give us some context of what happened here?
She's getting married tomorrow. She got Botox. I'm doing a video on botched surgeries, right? And this chick is getting married the next day. And look, this is what she did. This is what she did to her face. Look.
I get married tomorrow, and the smile.
Hi,
Look at that.
I'm Dr. Mahmood, board certified plastic surgeon, and I'm going to explain what's happening to this poor girl. She, unfortunately, as she mentioned, is getting married tomorrow and got Botox in her chin right before her wedding.
Look at that.
This is one of the golden reasons why, as a plastic surgeon, we really recommend having a treatment plan before your wedding and not doing anything right before your wedding, especially 1 week before. So what exactly happened?
So that, guys, that's not gonna go away. Botox takes like a couple of months to wear off. So she's
no sleeping at all.
She's supposed to be getting married, and her face looks like that. Why are they so stupid? Why are they so? He said, "Well, what a tardo." Guys, all right, Broderick, cook with me here.
Yep.
Would you ever date? Well, hypothetically, date any girl that got any type of plastic surgery done?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. No way. Because, guys, first of all, if you're dating, who do you think she's gonna expect to pay for it? right? You, exactly. Also, guys, these chicks that have these things that hate their nose or hate their chin or hate that they obsess over it and make it your problem. And that's all they can talk about. You can have Broderick come home from the plant and a friggin' transmission landed on his hand and broke his hand in 5 places. And she's gonna be like, you're just fine, but look at my nose. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. Absolutely insane.
Safety. These are just some of the reasons people are leaving the apps, swapping out the swipes for singles mixers.
Online daters, the majority of them have experienced harassment, received unwanted images, messages, catfishing, all kinds of terrible things, right? And so these in-person events really allow for these safe third spaces.
We'll see 2 big sections. One is for romantic matches and the other is for friendships.
Now, guys, once again, I mean, is this the chick that's throwing the singles event? If I saw this chick, guys, I would walk straight out the door. Look at this. This looks like an LDHT TV convention, right, guys? Look at that. Now, guys, here you go. Reddit. Why aren't males attending singles events anymore? When you look up singles mixers on social media, you will come across these posts talking about how males just aren't attending anymore. In this clip, the event organizer advertised male-specific groups. I thought there was a male loneliness epidemic and women were happier being single. So shouldn't the ratio be the opposite way around? Say women show up hoping they'll like at least one man. Men show up hoping at least one woman will like them. Facts. Someone says, I went to one and there were 30 of each, men and women. All 30 men were single and there were 2 really good looking dudes and all the rest of us were average. After the event, you can figure out who got the most attention. 2 other women were single and looking to date. Most of the rest were there with their friends for the experience. No, they told you that because you aren't the dude. If he was Chad, they wouldn't say, I'm just here for the experience. Right, guys? You know what I'm saying? If he was Tyrone Thunderstroke, they would have all been there single. You know what I'm saying? This person says that attractive men don't go to singles events. Only undesirable men that are unlikely to meet anyone are there. Yep. Someone says these kinds of events have almost totally replaced dating apps. Have been totally replaced by dating apps. Guys would rather be privately disappointed than publicly humiliated. Yes. This guy says men that women chase don't need these events. Men that women don't notice are not stupid enough to enjoy public humiliation and rejection on an assembly line scale. Same happens with online dating apps. This guy says, so the only time that I went to a speed dating thing, I got rejected by 20 out of 20 women there. Why would I subject myself to that again? There you go. John Carlo, yes, lesbians do have their own events. Yes, they do. You know what I'm saying? This guy says the top 20% of men who are the ones that women actually want that fit all the criteria have no incentives on going to these events as long as dating apps exist. They can look for whatever they want on their own couch with no awkward interactions. So the rest of us that have lived a life of constant rejection, so we've learned that our interest in women is annoying at best and offensive at worst. So why should we go? Look at that. He said, I went to a place like that and I just saw a copy of what's happening everywhere else. A tall, attractive guy had 3 girls at his table. Me, I made a few girls laugh, got on Instagram just to be told, I can't wait to be friends. There you go, guys. Yeah. Shrewd Cloud, your devices are not connected. So make sure to connect your camera, your microphones. You might need to go out and come back in. You know what I'm saying? And then all will bring you up, buddy. Okay. Here you are.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? How you doing? Happy Friday. or Friday. But listen, this guy here says, so the kind of women who attend these are leftovers. They failed so miserably that they can't even attract the attention on the apps. Facts. So the men who attend these are signaling their own desperation since they're probably paying to compete. Yep. So the kind of men that women want would never attend these things. Shoot, how do you feel about dating apps dying off, man? Hinge and friggin' Bumble laying off people.
I mean, it's no surprise, man. Like, if you think about it, the only people that pay for this stuff are the most pathetic and, like, the least lucky guys. Let's not say pathetic, because it's not everybody's fault. The guys that suffer, some of them, they are decent guys. But the guys who can't get any anyways, you pay in a last-ditch effort to try to get something when nothing's going on, and it still doesn't work. It never works for anybody that pays.
Guys, my prescriptions for dating, other than, obviously get in shape, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Guys, get really good at something, right? Guys, I'm telling you, I knew a guy in college. He had like a gimp arm, you know what I'm saying? He had like a deformity, but he was a pool shark. He was really good at pool. He could take his good arm, put it on his gimp arm, and just run the table. So he would do tournaments or whatever, and he would smash chicks. He was really good at. I know a guy. He literally became like a diet Gavin just to get chicks. He actually learned like 7-8 songs on the guitar. It was like, yeah, bro, I'm in a band, and he would smash chicks. And guys, learn how to fight. Guys who do jiu-jitsu tournaments and all that tend to smash chicks. And guys, here's another thing too. Running events. Guys, running events are 70 to 77% female. If you could run a 5K, guys, you go on a Saturday, you'll be one of the only guys there, one of the only straight guys there. You know what I'm saying? That puts the odds in your favor. But guys, dating apps, singles events, speed dating, no thanks. You know what I'm saying? So
my advice to guys as it concerns this situation is simply this: stop caring.
Yeah.
And be willing to ignore the opposite sex.
Yeah, that works too. Because here's the thing, guys. Once again, you stop caring. It's so funny that guys don't realize oftentimes when they're working two or three jobs, or they're working 2 jobs and going to school, right? And you're so busy, guys, that you're just indifferent to all the girls around you. And then a lot of these chicks, there's an air of mystery because they don't know who you are. They don't know because you're so busy. You're not sitting there pining away about some chick. And that's the thing that irks me the most about incels, Guys, there's black pill guys, where guys that choose to not deal with chicks. But guys, black pill is different because incels have no choice. Incels are the ones who say women are, these 304s are trash. They're this, they're that. But then these 304s are the cause of all the problems in my life. How can you have those two things exist at the same time? How can you say the people that are beneath you have all the power over you? It makes no sense. Doug and Baby, what's up, dude?
What's going on?
Yeah, man. These dating apps, they're supposedly going out of business, man. I think Bumble laid off 200-something people. Hinge laid off people. Tinder laid off people. The only one that's actually doing good is Grindr, but that's because all the because it's one big zest fest over there. You know what I'm saying? We all know how those dudes do it. Clown world. Ugh.
When did you go into how desperate they are, where they're trying to sell the height filter to women now? Where they can filter out guys by height?
No, hold on.
Yep.
I don't think I've talked about that yet. Hold on.
Yep. A premium service. You can get rid of all the guys below 6 feet.
Height filter on Tinder, right?
Hey, AJ.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm wondering if I could say something about the whole situationship thing, because I kind of jumped on just after you had wrapped it up.
Yeah. Go for it, dude.
I mean, it's gonna sound extreme, but the simple fact is, like, as a man, if you respect yourself, you can never take a woman seriously if she's ever been in a situationship.
That's facts.
And I know it sounds extreme because which
No,
one
dude.
has it?
No, it doesn't.
What-
No, shred, dude.
Sorry, go
Dude,
ahead, yeah.
see, you're I haven't talked to you much, but like you said multiple things where like you're not trying to sound bad. Dude, you've heard some of the crazy stuff I say. Dog, you're not extreme at all, man. Don't apologize. You're just fine. Keep going, Shred. You're fine. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I'm just saying, you're perfectly fine over here, pal.
Okay, no
you don't have to
filter, no
apologize.
filter, man. The simple fact is, if you knew that 90% of girls had the high five, you're not going to think it's crazy to never like hit anything raw. You would just realize that is completely the only logical stance to take.
Yeah.
And the simple fact is that when a girl says she's been in a situationship, that's like she's running a Popeyes. And there's been a couple of guys that came in and they literally said, "Don't take your wallet out. Let's get you behind the counter. Take whatever you want." And they're literally trying to give him extra stuff as he's leaving. And then you show up with your wallet. You pull your wallet out right away. You look like a goofy no matter what you do.
Yeah, or you're at the friggin' Porsche dealership or the friggin' BMW dealership, and they let one guy, drive the car 50,000 miles, and then they give it a good friggin' detailing, and then try and sell it back on the lot to you for a brand new price. No.
Yeah, and
here's what
using your Porsche analogy, even if they sold you the Porsche that like brand new would have been worth $80K, if they sell it to you for 10, they still can't respect you like the guy who got to run up the miles for free.
Yeah, facts. That's facts. Yep.
Here's what I'll say about this.
Here's the thing. Yeah, let's see.
They
Go on?
added a
Yeah. Just be quick.
If you're not a virgin, no man should be respecting you in any type of serious context with the regard to a relationship.
Bro, come on. You can't say that, man. This is 2025, bro. Are you serious?
Yeah. I
know
can say
what,
that
though?
because I'm
I
a virgin.
agree in a way.
I'm a virgin, so I can say that. Maybe it's different for the unchastised, but I'm a virgin, so I can say that.
Well, Doug, think about it this way. So I think that, again, it sounds extreme, but the fact is, if you're out on the water, somebody catches a fish, you see them play with the fish, the fish is flopping around in its boat, and then they take the fish and awkwardly throw it back in the water. Can you hold it up like a trophy if you catch that fish after?
I guess my whole point is, guys, all right. I want to know what guys that want virgins and virgins only. What are you going to do in life? Are you because I know that there's virgins that are just black pilled and they stay to hell with it. But if you are saying I will only be with a virgin and your plan is to be with someone, what is your plan?
That's what I'm saying. That's what to get to.
Like
Because
what practical path are you going to take to get to that type of woman?
And also, at a certain age, if a woman is still a virgin, it's a red flag. Especially if she's never been married or never been in. Well, I mean, she's never been married, but if she's never been in like a relationship, because like over 25 or maybe 30, if a woman is still a virgin, she's probably a crazy person.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with her, guys.
Or a femcel.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like those chicks that are like 43. I remember Kevin Samuels. He talked to a chick who was 45. She was still a virgin, and she's all like, "Yeah, I'm holding out for God to bring me a husband so I can have kids." Like, you're 45. What are you talking about?
And
you know what I'm saying?
and anything that you're good at takes practice, even relationships. I don't mess around with single moms, but I'd rather be with a woman who's divorced than a woman who's never been in a relationship and is a virgin. Because at a certain age, guys,
being a virgin is a young girl's game.
It is.
18 to like 28. 25, 26, I can understand that. But a 30-year-old virgin who's a chick,
Run.
what craziness must have happened to her to make her not be able to find any guy that she can, marry or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's for religious reasons. It's even worse if it's for religious reasons, because most religions say to be fruitful and multiply. Right?
And if she's part of a church or something, they should be facilitating her getting a relationship and a marriage with a religious man. Usually that means that she's so hard-headed that she won't listen to what the pastor says. She won't listen to what her father says. She's probably some Christian feminist somewhere.
I just think that guys who want virgins.
Yeah, Lolo Jones, dude.
Lolo
Jones. Come on now.
Yeah, guys who want virgins who aren't dating in the third world, right? Like, why are you dating in the West if you want a virgin? I know guys that have met chicks from the third world, right? From South America, from the Middle East, that, back when they were in the military or whatever, girl was a virgin. Confirmed. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. But in the West, I mean, you got to be black-pilled out in the woods on your own, or you're cooked. Nomad with the $20, man. Appreciate that, man. Thanks so much for the support, man. Appreciate that. The $20.
You are scaring the hoes.
Yeah,
hey guys, as y'all come in here, make sure y'all hit that like button.
Guys,
we want YouTube to know that we appreciate this content and we want it to be seen more. Get more eyes on the channel.
Guys, we have 92 people watching. We have 57 likes, guys. Hit the button. Appreciate that. Kelvin, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you as usual. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Okay, guys, here's the height filter here.
Toggle to Tinder. Now, we all know what the response to this is going to be. Where is the weight toggle, right? Of course. How dare you? Great, now do a boob size one. That's a good idea. Here's the thing, right? Time for a fat slider. I think that it is one of the biggest... Well, here's the truth, right? Is that whenever you're dating, you're not on an even playing field. You're just not. The fact is that, like you have...
Here's the thing. Guys understand that, though. Women don't understand that. Guys, I want you to put a 1 in this chat if you agree with me and everyone on the panel. Shred, Broderick, Doug, and PA. Feminism, all it is socialism. It's all it is. The biggins and the uggos want the same outcomes with dudes as the hot girls, but they masked it as this whole noble cause, this whole thing where we're trying to make the world a better place. Come on, dude. Come on.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
That's all it is. Lizzo will never have the same outcomes with dudes as Rihanna. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Well, isn't Rihanna a single mom? She's not married to that ASAP dollar guy, right? So hey,
yeah, but I'd rather take. Well, no, I don't know. All I'm saying is Lizzo has the attitude and the weight, so I can't say.
What I'm saying is that if Lizzo gets pregnant, then they'll both be single moms by Nug Nug. So, but you guys know what I mean, right? These chicks want the same outcomes as the hot girls. They want pretty girl privilege. It's not happening. You cannot thought police people into liking uggos and biggins. It isn't happening. You know what I'm saying?
But, like, let's say, like, if you're a girl, right, you have a massive advantage in dating. Women have the option to choose, and men generally don't. And so that's not true. I think that's absolutely the case. And I think that's the case for the majority of people. I'm not talking about the bottom 20% of women or the top 10% of men, for example, right? But like I'm saying, in a general sense, for the most people, this is the case. I think that it is one of the biggest weird things that height is somehow something that people should be able to make a decision on, and it's viewed as being socially acceptable to make a decision on that, but weight is not socially acceptable. And do you want to know the reason why? It's because fat chicks complain about it. That's the reason why. That's the only reason why weight isn't acceptable. It's because a bunch of fat chicks complain about it, and other women that aren't fat virtue signal, and they act like they're sympathetic to it because they'd rather the fat chicks own goal themselves and stay fat, because that way they don't have to compete with them. So that's the reason why it happens.
Yeah, it's true.
AJ, did you ever see Asmongold's video where he talks about his health? He went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Your vitals are terrible." He's like, "Guys, apparently I got to eat more than Chick-fil-A and Mountain Dew." He's like, "Yeah, my vitals look like absolute garbage. I got to do something with my life."
Yeah, that's guys.
Has happened to make space. While there is enjoyment, there's also a sense of embarrassment sometimes with putting yourself out there, especially with people ages 40 and up. That's where Get Ready to Date matchmaking can come in. There's definitely
Come on, translate. We gotta translate.
Where's Snowboarder at? He would take this for the team. Calvin, man, thanks for the $5. He says, yeah, the uggos want the same attention as the pretty ones. Facts. Yep. Facts.
The sickest part of all this is that within the last 6 months, some Chad slid through on a slow Tuesday and slid this wildebeest.
Yeah. Gray Fox Chad. This is the friggin' 2 a.m. special for Gray Fox Chad. He calls her up after the friggin' country western bar. The line dancing bar is out. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? I'm busy. Bitch, no, you not. I'm coming over. Yeah, thanks, Kelvin.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
Stigma to being single and talking about it. Many of my clients are very private. They don't want their family, their friends, or anyone to know that they've come to a matchmaker. They want this to be private. Somehow they think this is their fault, and it's not.
Deborah LaRue helps people 40 and up find love because everyone deserves it.
People come into...
Everyone deserves love.
That's a lie.
You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
See me.
Lily says she looks like Marlon Brando.
They've either been widowed, divorced, or maybe they've never been married. And they come in because they're looking to actually find their special person. Actually, there's more people coming to matchmakers now than ever because they're busy working professionals and they don't have...
That had to have been stock footage. There's no way that many men are going to show up to a single electrician.
Facts.
Not happening.
Time.
Wait, one second. Let's think about this for a second. If you're a man and you want to find a wife and you roll up and this is who's going to look for them,
yeah.
What kind of man would trust this thing?
Guys, so here's the thing about these chicks that are in their 40s. Guys, how many times have I done videos on these chicks in their 40s, these like delusional divorce chicks?
Is that Mrs. Doubtfire over there?
Where they divorce their husbands for no reason, right? Because guys, that I want to say that 35 to 45-year-old range, I think that's what we had settled on was like the worst. Is probably these like 34 to like 38-year-old chicks. But guys, these are the ones that were married for like 8, 9, 10 years. And they still have young kids that get divorced, and then they're out there trying to date. Because these 40-year-old chicks are like right behind them because they've been married for like 15, 16 years. They probably only have one kid left at home. And 40-something, they're delusional and think that they're 20-something, right? And guys, they don't realize there's only a couple of types of men that are in their 40s that are single, right? There's guy number one, and this is the guy who had his balls annihilated in a divorce, right? He lost his house. He lost half his pension. He's paying alimony. He's like maybe 48 or 47 now, and he's just digging his way out, right? His last kid's probably 18, so he doesn't have to pay child support. He's managed to buy another house. His alimony
His kids
paid.
are small; they're being alienated against him, so he's pissed off about that.
What I'm saying is, like, that guy doesn't want to ever go near a woman again. Then you have the guys that have waited till they're 48, 49, 50. They made partner at the firm. They're the head of surgery. Their plumbing business is taken off. They have 25, 30 employees. They're making good money, right? And now they want to get married and start a family. Do you guys think that they're going to do that with a 45-year-old chick? No. They're going to go to the Philippines and fly in a freaking 23-year-old, right? Or you have the guys that are the 48-year-old nug-nugs, right? The 48-year-old Gavins. And those are the guys that these 40-something-year-old chicks seem to only be able to attract, and then they always blame the rest of us guys. Guys in their 40s are either married, divorced, trying to start a family and get married, or they're losers. You know what I'm saying? And these chicks don't understand. If you leave your husband for no reason, guys, this is the first time in history that 45-year-old chicks are trying to compete with the same guys as 25-year-old chicks. 55-year-old chicks are trying to compete with all the same guys as the 25-year-old chicks. My grandma was not trying to date when she was 50 or 40. It's not happening. Who was saying something?
I got something to go along with what you were saying there, and it's surrounding that whole the conversation about like egg freezing, and like people always talk about, oh well, it's not that successful, it's still risky because the eggs are still old, but I rarely hear people talk about the fact, like, who the hell is trying to inseminate these old eggs anyway?
Yeah.
Like these girls, they're looking around in their 20s and 30s when they still have some looks and possible like perceived value by men, and they can't pick anybody or nobody that they're meeting guys that they think are good enough. None of them are sticking around. Which one of these high status men wants to inseminate that petri dish? I don't know. Like that part nobody talks about.
And especially, hey, Shred, inseminate her and then have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Like, think about how hard it's like women don't. This might be a little bit again generalized because I think there are some women that they work really hard to get to where they get to, but I think a lot of women, their success is kind of like it's boosted and kind of like the path is kind of set for them, as opposed to men. We have to grind for everything we get. So at the end of the day, it's like they don't even appreciate how hard that middle-aged guy that put off family has worked to get to where he's got to.
But here's
like
the
idea.
They define their success in the same way that 45-year-old guy would. Guys, how many times have you met women? Guys, put a 1 in this chat if you know women personally where they thought that everything was hunky-dory, and then they turned 35 and that biological clock started ticking and realized that children and family was more important than all their stupid underwater astrology degrees and all of that, right? So
underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, they want to be happy like the 45-year-old guy is with his accomplishments, but they can't be. But by then, guys, they end up like this chick. Watch.
$65,000. I spent $65,000 on my IVF journey and ended up with nothing.
Anyone? Right?
You know, it costs nothing just to lose some weight and be nicer, though, right?
Cooked. 65K.
65K. I imagine everything I could have done with that money.
Yeah, cooked. And all these chicks are all, I'm so sorry, it's not fair. It happened to me too. Infertility is unfair. All these. But guys, the way that they make it seem is that this is this gotcha from Mother Nature. Guys, Father Time is not playing. These chicks try and get in the octagon with Father Time. Father Time is nothing but knockouts and tap outs, dude. Straight up. He's not leaving it to the judges, man. You know what I'm saying?
You cannot tell me that the rise in autism and all these birth defects isn't from older women having kids with their old ass eggs. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nobody talks about the heartache with IVF. Shred, what were you saying?
Yeah, but like going back to what you were saying is that like everybody's in the comments crying and feeling sorry for these women, but at the end of the day, that 40-year-old guy, if he put off having a family, he was grinding and nonstop thinking about that future family.
Yeah.
These women, they're in their career, they're getting pumped by a different chat every week, and they're telling themselves, I don't even need the family.
Yeah, fast.
So what, how can you feel sorry for them when it's completely self-inflicted?
And here's the gag, guys. Once again, most women don't have careers, they have jobs. It's not like they're all freaking curing cancer or they're doing anything crazy. They don't have careers. They're working at freaking Costco. They're freaking working at Safeway as a checker. They're a freaking what's it called? A front desk at a freaking apartment complex. A property manager. Please. Pyro, what's up, dude? Over in Jamaica. Jamaica's in the house.
Bomba.
What's up, dude? Now, guys, here, let's move on here, right? Because, guys, we all agree, so say we all, that these dating apps are foolishness, right? But, guys,
absolute craziness.
Because women make some of the dumbest decisions financially there are, right? Look at this. Does it seem like women are bad with money and financial decisions? Okay? This guy says, I own a home. I make $75K per year, and I have to be very financially conscious to stay ahead in life. I always seem to bump heads financially with women because they are women, right, guys? Look at this guy. He's 75K, owns his own home. There you go. Yeah, I've been dating this chick for 5 months. We go to Taco Tuesdays every Tuesday. Tacos are on sale on Taco Tuesdays, and it's always been a cheap way to have a lazy dinner on Tuesdays for years. So I included my new lady in this routine of mine. Uh-oh, strike one, right, guys? Strike one. Nope. If Shred, Doug MPA, Broderick, and I go to our local dive bar to play darts, to have $2 PBRs, why are we gonna take some chick who's like, we need to go to the wine bar down the street. We need to go to the happening new restaurant. Why? We go to the bar, throw some darts, spend $8, couple beers each, and we're good. Okay. In 5 months, she hasn't gotten a taco once on a Tuesday yet. She claims to love Taco Tuesdays. She'll always order way too much food, silly drinks, and doesn't even try and help with the tip. Look at that. She turned my Simple Tuesday routine into a $60 wasteful night out. And when I try to nicely bring it up, she acts like I exaggerate. This is the fourth woman in 2 years that is very financially wasteful in way more ways than just tacos. Is this normal, or is this the type of women that I'm attracting? Guys, put normal or not normal in the chat. Okay? Shred, Doug MPA Broderick. Guys, what do you think?
Not only is it normal, this guy is totally failing at his girl math, because the fact that he's saving money on his tacos means she can spend twice as much. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, guys, having been married and divorced before, I can tell you the biggest trap that successful men get stuck in is the man's money is the man's money, and the woman's money is her money. Because all these women, they want to be, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be married, but I don't want to lose my independence, and that means she feels entitled to keeping her own money, right? Yeah. And women with bad spending habits, they know exactly. You'll be like, all right, I'm gonna, I'm finally gonna tell her how I feel about her spending money. I'm gonna turn this whole thing around. But see, women, they get to know you and know how to manipulate you, and know, especially if you're a quote unquote good man, you don't stand a chance against how they use shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to manipulate you back to the normal of them spending money. You'll approach a conversation with a woman who spends too much with all this logic on how she spends too much to show her the benefits of spending less. But by the end of the discussion, she'll have you apologizing for even approaching her about the issue in the first place. You got to be careful with these women. Too many guys, the normal in the relationship is the woman getting whatever she wants.
Yep, that's
And
true.
Well, Doug,
Yep.
if this guy actually had any boundaries in the first place, the moment that this even occurred in the first instance, he would have left her.
Yeah, for ruining
A
his Taco Tuesday.
a self-respecting guy would have left long time ago.
Yep, that's true.
This guy's got lessons he need to learn.
Yep. All right, so let's see some of the comments here. Dude says, have you tried setting a boundary with your own money? Guy says, yes. In the past, so the boundary was a source of turmoil and had ended a few of my relationships. Guys, this guy's a simp. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Beta male.
I'm aware of how to control my own money. Dealing with someone who can't seems to be an issue. I really like this chick, and I want to be kind of patient. I'll hit her with a boundary sooner or later. Look at this guy.
Beta.
Look at this guy.
AJ, why it always started off with that? I really like this girl.
Guys, she must have that thunder throat. You know what I'm saying? Thunder.
Oh, I don't care how much thunder in the world there is, bro. It can't be enough.
Rate this guy on the simp meter.
It's over 9,000.
This guy says, as a guy that I've been wearing the same jeans for 3 years. Girls seem to need to have to get something new every week. Yep. This guy says, I've only known a few women that were decent with money. They spend money on unnecessary items and services on a regular basis. They prioritize incorrectly and eviscerate your funds in a heartbeat. Facts. There's absolutely no reason that a 2-year teacher should spend $600 on a purse. There's no reason for a CNA to purchase a new BMW with a 7-year loan while living in a one-bedroom apartment. It's absolutely ludicrous to blow $1,500 plus on Christmas for children when the light bill is 2 months past due. Yep. These are all chicks. This guy says, I may get a lot of hate for this, but it's the truth. I've experienced the same thing. I think that it's just in a woman's nature to overspend. Facts. This guy says, oh, look, so you're basing your assumptions on Taco Tuesday? Yes! Yes, he is! Look at this. There's always some simp. There's always some moron.
Well, it's Reddit, AJ. That's what it simps congregate.
Yeah.
Can I say something, AJ?
Of course.
So what this brings to mind to me again, it's like my mind goes back to the whole situationship thing, because when I hear things like this, it makes me consider, number one, we as men, we're a lot more, we can be a lot more honest about our station in life, right? Like we understand hierarchy. It's not, we don't think of it as like being down on ourselves for recognizing that we're not the best at everything. We know we're not the best at everything. So for me personally, I think of myself as above average in most things. Some things I suck at, some things I'm really good at. But at the end of the day, when these women can access any man, like there's guys definitely taller than me, better looking, make more money. And on top of that, Chad is lying to them about everything. So now when they've been pumped and dumped by Chad, they come over to you, and as soon as you open your wallet, they're trying to get in your wallet and live the lifestyle that Chad promised them, which is even above Chad's means. He doesn't even have the money.
That's true.
He's got a nice car that he finances, and he rents his place, but she thinks he's super rich because that's what he told her. He told her he's super connected, that he's rich, he does have a nice place, everything's financed, but now your dumbass has your wallet open, so she's like, look, this guy's got to make up for not being Chad, and I got to spend all that money to live the kind of life Chad promised me.
And this happens so much that in the UK, they tried to make it illegal for a guy to lie on a date. So if a guy says that he's a doctor or a lawyer, so you can hit the skins, you know what I'm saying? So they can take you to court, have you arrested, and go to court. Who was saying something?
Did you guys ever hear that story of that white guy in Vegas? He was a wannabe a professional poker player, and his parents were rich in Los Angeles, but they bought him a house in Vegas, and they gave him money each month. But he was like a wannabe poker. His parents would give him an allowance. He spends it all on poker. Well, they bought him a BMW and whatever. So he meets this B-dub, right? And he tells her, "Oh yeah, I own this company and this, that, whatever, blah blah blah." So she's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna hit it raw and have him get me pregnant, so I could take half of his money and child support." So it's a court video, and so they're in court for like child support and stuff. And she finds out that he has zero assets and zero income. She's all pissed off. She's like, yeah.
You played yourself.
I think she's gonna get like $170 a month in child support.
Moron.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't really need to get a job because my parents pay for everything. They're like, well, can we put his parents on child support? It's like, no, yeah, he lied his butt off, and she got pregnant by him, thinking that he was rich because he had this really nice house and this really nice car.
Damn. Now, guys, let's listen to this dunderhead right here.
I owned this car for literally one day. Okay, you guys, the past 2 days of my life have been so insane.
There's that hand clapping thing again.
So I bought my car. Woohoo! Yay! I didn't even get to really like enjoy it because the financing and like all of the contracting part, they fucked me so hard. They messed me up so hard. I didn't realize how bad the refinancing contract was. Blase. I didn't realize any of these things until, of course, I call my father and I tell him like I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, they did this and this, and my dad's like, what? Basically, they signed me up for gap insurance. Didn't need it. Honestly, guys, I can go back and forth about how shitty the contract was, but luckily there's a 2-day canceling like contract fee. So instead of buying this car that I was so excited to do, I am no longer buying this car, and I'm here at Mercedes-Benz right now, and I'm dropping it off. I owned this car for literally one day. I'm just going to trade it in, forget the contract, whatever. And in a few months, I will be getting into a new car. And I say a few months because we have some life-changing things coming up that you guys don't know about yet, and you guys will know very soon, and then you will understand why it is not smart for me to get into a vehicle right now, okay? So...
Anyone? Hey, Shred, she's all yours, buddy.
Bro, I just can't with these fools, man.
She does understand it doesn't work like that, right?
Oh, yeah, but here... If she was dumb enough to actually sign the contract, do you think she's smart enough to understand what just walking away from a car is? And even if, let's just say they have a thing where you can take the car back, and they probably take like half of her down payment or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or they have like a $8,000 fee or whatever.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You have to do a lot of times you have to do what's called a voluntary repossession.
Yeah.
She explained the problem right in the description because she called her dad after. Like, you idiot. Why didn't you have a dad you can call. Why didn't you call him before you signed this contract that you obviously didn't read? And like ask him, hey, you think this is a good idea? It's a pretty expensive car. He would have been like, no, maybe wait till I have time. I'll come down there with you.
Yeah.
So you don't get screwed over.
Yep.
I ever made and how you can avoid doing the same thing. If you're new here, my name's Haley. I am in the process of paying down quite a bit of debt, and if I can help one person by sharing this, then it's worth it. It was about 3 years ago. I was 2 months postpartum, not thinking clearly, and my husband wanted a truck. So
there you go. I had postpartum. I wasn't in my right frame of mind.
And I'm just trying to tell you that I have mental health issues. I'm extremely distraught. I feel like my whole life is ending.
So we went to go look, and of course we ended up finding something. We did zero research. We had no idea what the value was of our trade-in. We were trading in a Ford Fusion. We didn't know what the value was of the truck that we were buying and didn't really look it up. Now that I'm looking into what we can do to get out of this loan.
Guys, how much do you think that their truck loan payment is? Rachel says, who would impregnate this?
I want to say probably $950.
Okay, I think about $800.
I'm guessing 1,100.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
And get something more family friendly. I'm learning all of the mistakes that we made during the sales process. And if you already know this, then you're probably like, you are so dumb. And trust me, I feel it. So first mistake was not knowing the value of what we were buying or trading in. Second mistake was that we extended the terms of our loan to be like the longest term amount possible.
What's probably
to
like
lower our
96
payment.
months.
This just kind of keeps you in debt longer. You end up paying more interest. And we weren't focused on the out of the door price, which you should always ask for, which means it's the price that it's like listed for with taxes, any other fees. The total amount of our loan ended up probably being more than what that truck was worth.
Wait, can I change my
How
guess?
much we owe on it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's saying that they went on the longest term possible. So the real problem here is that the total cost of the truck is going to be well over $100,000, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's going to pay like $350, $400, maybe $500 a month.
Yeah, the average truck payment is $850, and the average F-150 payments over $900 a month for F-150. Clown world.
Is more than what it's worth, so we're having a hard time.
What's the payment?
Trading it in. We're going to be negative equity if we do it right now. I could go on and on about this, but the other big mistake we made was going on a Sunday with story time.
Does she not say it? Ah, that's no fun.
Part 2 of financial mistakes that got me into debt. You tell me if this one was a bad decision or a good decision. I think it was a good idea, but a poorly executed plan. So a brief backstory, from 2020 to 2022, I was a 1099 employee, which means I paid my own taxes.
This is the chick where she filed different ways, and now the IRS is after her behind. Hey, hold on.
I won $100,000 after winning America's Next Top
Oh,
Model.
guys, check this out. Check this out.
I won $100,000 after winning America's Next Top Model in 2017, and here is the story of my biggest financial mistake of my life. So after I won the show, they actually gave me a check for $100,000. Boom, baby, I'm rich. And for some reason, my little itty-bitty undeveloped brain thought that that meant it was $100,000 post-tax. Like, they obviously already took out the game show tax because I got a check for $100,000. Newsflash, not the case. So anyways, I go and spend the $100,000. I paid $60,000 for an apartment in New York, but I had a roommate pay me back, and then I subleased it, and they paid me back. Anyways, it wasn't that horrible of an investment, but obviously not the smartest thing I could have done. And then the rest of the money I spent taking my family on like nice dinners, and I bought one pair of shoes. And anyways, I spent the entire $100,000. I also got
You stupid woman!
the car. Like, yeah, I spent the money. Okay. What I should have done was put aside 35 to 40% of the money for taxes so that I'd be ready to pay that. But I didn't do that. I spent it all. And so I spent the next several years paying back the money in taxes to the IRS.
Cooked. How stupid can you be?
Bro,
Hey,
can
guys.
you imagine you're explaining this is the worst financial decision I ever made? And in the end, it's I didn't know what taxes are?
Yeah, facts. Guys, the IRS is the most cold and calculating agency on the face of the planet. I tell you guys, if Bin Laden had owed on his taxes, they had caught him real fast. Trust me. Locke, what's up, dude?
How's it going, man? I heard someone was talking about taxes. My lock sense was kicking in, so I had to see what was going on.
Guys, Locke's here. What were you saying, Locke?
Oh no, it must be nice to live in a world where you could be completely ignorant of taxes.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
Well, you know what, guys? I thought taxes were totally something that like only poor people had to pay, and I'm like totally rich now.
yeah, because obviously, guys, did you see that knucklehead Joy Reid get owned on CNN the other day? Because that dunderhead guy that's a Democratic candidate for mayor of New York that straight up says he's a communist, right? Says he wants to tax the crap out of the rich, and Joy Reid's like, hold on. Look, Joy Reid owns.
Hold up, Joy Reid is still rich?
Yeah, I don't know how she's on CNN. Can I find the short? Dang, you type in Joy Joy Reid owned, and you just see, here you go. Wait, so anyways, the guy goes, look, if they do these taxes to here it is. Ugh, it's just Megyn Kelly. Ugh.
On
Oh God.
last night between Joy Reid, who was over there as a guest commentator, and our pal Arthur Aidala, who not only is a brilliant trial attorney, but is a lifelong New Yorker from Brooklyn and still lives in Brooklyn.
Look at that neck.
Take a listen to that exchange.
Oh God.
Evidence that Mamdani would return New York City to the 1970s old Times Square.
I tell you guys, Joy Reid wants to increase taxes. Guys, we all know what we want to increase, right, guys?
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck. That's what's about to get increased.
And look at her forehead, dude. Look at that
God.
forehead. If you're ever going to an event with her, you don't have to worry about a parking spot because she can park your car on her forehead.
Oh man, like, Joy Reid is at that point in her CNN life where she is willing to do pretty much anything, including debase herself if it means please love me again.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone loved her in the first place. Yeah, she's terrible.
Oh God. It's like watching Joy Reid for extended periods of time will give you soul cancer. It's been proven by the science.
What is your evidence?
It's very simple. So he wants to raise taxes on people who make the most money. What eventually is going to happen is you're going to lose that tax base. Once you lose that tax base, our bonds will get degraded. Now the city budget will not be substantial enough to subsidize not only the cops, but the fire department, the sanitation department. Once you start losing Wall Street and people who pay $11,000, $12,000 a month to live on the Upper East Side.
That's right. Guys, rich people don't have to be in New York. You know what I'm saying?
We saw this back in 2020. Like all of the rich people, like if you take a look at like the great exodus in California, the first people to leave were the freaking Silicon Valley millionaires. Like they went ahead, decided, oh, Montana, that looks like a nice place to ruin. I'm gonna go there.
No,
Texas.
Austin and then Denver. Austin and Denver.
And Denver wasn't exactly
morons.
I'm in Arizona, and a lot of them came here too.
Ugh, terrible.
My condolences, man. My condolences.
You look at Brexit, right? When they did Brexit, and all the financial centers said, "Look, we have to be part of the EU," and England said, the UK said, "Screw you, we're leaving anyways." So then all the big financial institutions went to Dublin. And now Dublin's income is skyrocketed because it's now like the major financial hub in that area now. You know what I'm saying? And year by year, there's more international corporations and concerns leaving England because of the cost to do business from doing it outside EU to the EU. What are you saying?
Well, one thing that I was thinking about here is like, it doesn't really freaking matter. It's like, because what the people who don't know the basic thing about tax law is that the tax laws benefit the wealthy because the wealthy are the ones who make sure that the lawmakers stay gainfully employed. So when they say like tax the rich, it's never going to freaking happen. It's like, I'm going to make the people who paid for me to keep my job, I'm going to make them pay more money. Yeah,
but
great
these are the
bold
same
strategy.
Communists who say, "Oh, well, lock and shred clouds, save up money to open up open up a restaurant, right?" But once you guys open and you hire your staff, you have to give them partial ownership of the business.
Yeah, that's absolutely
that's
insane.
Crazy. Yeah, insane.
I say we just don't open it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If only we had some type of a thing that documented history to prove that form of government doesn't work.
Hey guys, the funniest part about communism is that these knuckleheads, guys, put a 1 if you agree. Guys, that communism is an inherently female mindset and capitalism is an inherently masculine mindset. It is.
Yeah, I would agree.
100%.
God.
Because guys, and here's the thing: these women, they're so dumb that they think that somehow communism gets rid of hierarchy and that's, dude. Okay, let's just say everyone on this panel is supposed to get what's fair, right? Well, who decides what fair is, and then also who's going to enforce that fairness? Whoever enforces that fairness, guess what? There's a hierarchy. They're above everyone, and of course, they're going to disarm the population so that the people who enforce the fairness are the only ones who have the guns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And AJ, if you think about it, like this whole like forced equity thing, it's like nothing. Nature's not fair. So I mean, if I'm 5'2" and you're 6'4" and we make the same money, is that fair? I can't go and work harder and at least try to like equal up the score here by having something on top of you.
Think about this. Think about this. This whole feminism thing, man. Like, life is never going to be fair for men ever. So while women fighting for equality is for them fighting for their lives to be just as unfair for them as it is for men. That's literally what they're fighting for.
Yep. Guys, you look at like, was it jackals and wild dogs and hyenas? The lions or the cheetahs will do all this work to bring down a water buffalo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a pack of hyenas chases them off and eats the kill. Is that fair?
No.
It sucks, you know. But the lion said, "Hey, look, you know, I gotta get out of here before those hyenas try and take me out." Or the cheetahs, they'll run and they're so tired, right, that they can't fight off any other predators. So oftentimes they'll run and chase down a gazelle and then lose it to a hyena pack. It's ridiculous.
It's kind of sad how we're kind of living in an era where a philosophy that we were all taught as 3-year-olds is seen as oppressive by a bunch of people who just don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
Or life is not fair. I learned that lesson when I was 4.
Another scenario is when a lion is chasing a pack of gazelles and one gets caught and is getting eaten. All the rest of the gazelles turn around and surround the lion and watch their friend get eaten.
Yeah. Or there's a sick water buffalo and they're in a pack in a herd and they'll just kick the sick one out like, it's like, hey guys, what are you doing? And they'll take him out. Get Stan. He's been coughing a lot lately. Let's give him to the lions, you know? So
debt, $45,000 worth. I put myself into debt, $45,000 worth of debt, not including my car note. With my car note, it's $55,000. No one forced me. No one tricked me. I did that to myself. For a long time, I really just wanted to blame this situation on everybody else except for myself. I would say things like, oh, I had to spend money because of this, or I had to spend money.
Sorry, guys. You might not be able to understand what she's saying.
But I just never knew how to handle
can of peaches on that chin.
Seriously.
And that's just the facts. And I made really bad choices, plain and simple. Now I'm the one paying for those choices, literally. Instead of running from it, because I've been running away from it for almost a year and a half now, I'm facing it. No more excuses. The best part about my journey is that I'm trusting God through it all.
There it is.
Oh, of course you are.
We knew that was coming, right, guys?
Oh my God! Like,
look at that, guys.
I was sitting here going, wait for the rug pull.
Yeah.
There's a rug. There is always a freaking rug pull.
Yeah, guys. They act like God is intergalactic Santa Claus. God has nothing to do with the fact that you're a broke 304. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that it's like the two boats and a helicopter joke. Like it's like, how do you know that the man upstairs wasn't trying to keep you out of catastrophic debt the whole time?
There's a video, guys. Put it one in the chat. I'm gonna open the chat back up because we're gonna be out of here in a couple minutes. But guys, do you remember the video that I did of the chick that has all that debt? From taking all those money-making courses. She's like $44,000 in debt because she was trying to make money on some money-making course.
Oh,
and she kept doing them over and over and over and over and over and over again. Absolutely insane. They're so dumb. And guys, be careful, because the only person whose money that they'd rather spend than theirs is yours. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I might have missed.
What happened? Oh, this is what TikTok does every now and then.
Oh yeah.
Well, so AJ, I got a bit of a sidebar. I think we're about
Yeah.
the same age.
Yeah.
The same age, and I think that like okay, so when you think about how smartphones came out and like how advanced they got so quickly, like to me, all of that not that surprising. Like I could probably guess, or if you showed me one from the future, I'd be like, well, that's really cool. But I could see how we got from where we are to where we're at now. Like the internet kind of became super popular when I was like in the 8th, 9th grade. And but the fact that all these gigantic women are filming themselves talking about God knows what, I honestly couldn't believe that this would be a thing, man.
Yeah.
With no shame. Like people were fat back when I was a teenager, but nobody was proud of it, and it wasn't normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like all my I can actually like I was just thinking, nope, you're right. You're absolutely freaking right on that one. Oh God.
Yeah, sure. Here you go, guys.
Like it's like the Armageddon. Everything that's happening with Armageddon has been a letdown.
Women actually say they'd like to learn more about finance.
And I always tell this to men that whether you're in a relationship, on a date, married, you want to be talking to women about finance early and often.
Couldn't agree more. Last week we're at a restaurant, our anniversary. She says, how's the food tasting? I say, great. But what's really great is the effects of compound interest. And I begin to elaborate. She changed the subject to some gossip at work. I put my finger over her mouth. I start to shush her, and I just kind of go back to basics. I explained to her what exactly.
A comedy skit. You're not funny, dude. Yeah, all these chicks though, like guys, even the chicks that are actually successful, guys, they don't even spend their money on men anyways. $7,600 a month in rent. What?
It's your boy V, back with another reaction video. Guys, every single woman that I've ever been with, they all were terrible with money. Now,
especially B-dubs.
They weren't just like regular terrible. They were negligent. This heifer was burning through money. Let me give you an idea.
Heifer.
For you fellas who live in Houston, I messed with this chick. She lived in Houston by Montrose. It's called, I forgot what it's called, Dallas something. It's right next to a Whole Foods. Real nice apartment, expensive as hell. Now, this woman that I was dealing with, this woman was making damn near $180,000 a year. Do you know that her mother was chipping in $1,000 every month to help her pay her rent? No, I'm not making that up, guys. That is the truth. But before we get into the video, make sure you hit the like button 1 time, hit it 2 times, hit it 3 times while you're at it, subscribe 1 more time, and 1 more time. In this video, you're gonna see how sinfully wasteful these women are.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How much do you pay for rent in Atlanta?
$7,600
$7,600 a month. Make that make sense.
a month.
Wow. You think we can take a look at your apartment?
Absolutely. Come
All
on.
right, let's go.
Come on in.
I thought men were dangerous.
For this BBL she has.
I just love my apartment. The reason I chose this apartment was because
The reason why she chose that apartment because she thinks she bougie. She tried to keep up with the Joneses, and she got to make some Instagram posts. That's why she got that apartment. $7,600 a month for a single woman. That don't make no damn sense.
the view, number one, the space, being on the top floor, and
That is not a $7,600 a month view. That's for damn sure. $7,600 a month, you could get you something in Manhattan. This woman got all types of work done. You know where her priorities are.
I just love like the aesthetics, like the built-in shelves, and it just came with a lot more. It came with the aesthetics that I feel like a penthouse house should have. So I just really love it. My actual building is all of my unit. It's based on my favorite colors, which are black and green, and gold always gives luxury. So I always like to throw in a touch of golden.
She's a demon, guys. Look at all those clothes. Look at that. Guys, look at that.
I'm all for having a cool apartment, but come on. Like that is just insane. Like, oh my God. My brain hurts hearing this kind of stuff.
Look at that, guys, right?
Just like a woman.
Look at that.
And it gives like really urban, really modern. I'm big on unisex units. I love from where I live to be unisex. I don't like it to be too girly, and I don't like it to be too masculine. but just about the amount of touch that describes me, and
that heifer is living check to check.
And I love it to be unisex, and yeah, so that's why I picked the black, green, and the gold in here. Oh, one more thing, I also love the 20-foot ceilings. Most penthouses, they have about between 12 and 15. Thanks for coming to see me. Thanks for coming to see my unit, and see you guys later.
For those who want to know, $7,600 a month, that's $91,000 a year. I'm not saying that's a lot of money. I'm just saying that's $7,600 a month for a single woman.
Really rotten says she probably has a smoke alarm chirping in there.
Man, if you're single and you have a brother you get along with, you guys should be splitting the rent and living together. And if you by yourself, you shouldn't pay no more than $2,000. And that's working on the assumption you make over $120,000 a year. Next. I sell them. Reason why I show.
Honestly, baby, be prepared for me to be in your skin. I'm trying to lay on your chest and catch your heartbeat so I can breathe like you.
Ugh, anyways, but yeah, guys, these chicks are terrible.
No thanks, I just ate.
With money, terrible. I'm telling you guys, the only reason why they're like this is ultimately they expect one of us guys to swoop in.
Here I come to save the day
and pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yo, so AJ, going back to that last video, so I like you, I am a brother that may not sound that way. And these women love to say stuff to us like, oh, you don't date black women, you don't like yourself. And it's like, what the hell does me not liking your ugly ass have to do with me not liking myself? I love myself.
Yeah.
And then to me, look at this chick. She's paying $7,600. If I knew a guy, let's take race out of it. If I knew a guy that was spending that much money on rent, you don't own anything, and you're buying all these clothes, I think he doesn't like himself. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
He's not happy. Like, if you gotta keep buying and buying and buying, none of these clothes can make outfits that satisfy you. You need more clothes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, guys, I'm allergic to B-dubs at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny because I'm 44. And when I was in high school and in my 20s, I couldn't buy a date with a black chick because I wasn't black enough. Then I hit about 34, 30, 35, started making good money. And at my job, I was one of the only professional black males there. All of the rest were the security guards or maintenance dudes. And now all these B-dubs with their bastard kids trying to talk to me. Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run on muck.
Horrible, man. Horrible. You know what I mean?
Well, we both know that they needed a guy with at least a page-long rap sheet to date them before they were 29. So don't look for my clean, upstanding self after you've been ran through.
Guys, so we'll do this last thing and then we'll log off here. But guys, this is kind of long. He says 31-year-old male, have been working in business for 7 years. He's been paying very well because he's in logistics. Okay. He met his girlfriend, this 29 female, is an incredible person. She's supportive, kind, loving. I've tried my hardest to return that same energy. Yeah, guys, we can already tell. You've had really large issues come up in the last month. She works in physical therapy and her company laid her off. She hasn't been smart with her money, of course. Just like a nurse, just like a physical therapist or any of that. They blow their cash. Who was saying something?
Yep. Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. And guys, PTs can get another job like that. What are you talking about? So she hasn't been smart with her money. I tried to tell her to invest, but she's only put away 10% of her income. That's surprising. Let's even put away with that much. She made a big investment in herself last year, moving into the city. There it is.
That's not an investment.
There it is.
That is not an investment. Like these women do not know what words mean.
Yeah. Guys, here's the thing. I'm going to do a video on all these girls who want to move to New York, move to LA. They always want to move to the city.
They can have it.
Yeah. Yes. You don't ever hear a guy, you know what I'm saying? I want to go to Manhattan. I want to move to the city.
Unless it's some friggin', this is the guy is saying that this was an investment on his part. Like this guy's
no. He's saying that his girlfriend made an investment on herself by moving into the city.
Right, but it's kind of like, why would he, like, that's almost like you're accepting her version of reality, because you should understand that's not an investment. She's taking
he's a simp because he's still with this chick, so obviously he's a simp, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
No,
Fair enough.
that's like like a dude who wasn't a simp would be like, what are you doing? Moving to a city? No, don't do it. But it's like, oh no, she's investing in herself. Like, dude, dude, reach into her purse, take back your scrote, yo.
Oh no. She only has a couple $1,000 saved up and she had to move out of her apartment because she got laid off due to its ridiculous rent, $1,500 a month. That's not that bad. She asked me if she can move in for a bit to get back on her feet. He said yes. Oh no.
Flip.
He said my apartment's not massive and it's way more expensive getting food for two. Now it's been over 2 weeks. She still doesn't have a job. She had a couple interviews. They've fallen through. I've asked her about when she thinks that she'll get a job. I feel like she's taking advantage. To top it off, she asked me if she could borrow $100 to pay her credit card. It begins.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
All right, I have lost a job or two in the past. I've been laid off. You know what you do when that happens? You just find some work. There is work to be had. It doesn't have to be glamorous. It just needs to be some money.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's like, it's been 2 weeks. I can't find anything. It's like, I'm sorry, but you can get a job at a freaking supermarket. It's not luxurious, but it's better than nothing. It's not that she can't find a job. She just doesn't want any of the jobs available. She just doesn't want. There's a huge difference.
So he said that I told her that I'm done giving her cash for free and that she needs to get a job soon because it costs me so much. She started crying, of course, and said that I can't believe that you're acting this way. We've been together for this long. My friends think I'm being harsh. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Those are no friends, dude. He has no friends. He says, I know that it's $100, but it's the principle of asking me to pay her bills.
How much do you want to? Sorry, how much do you want to bet that his quote unquote friends are actually her male friends?
Of course. He says, me and her talked again. She couldn't believe how I treated her. I tried again to explain myself, and she said, we're done. Good.
Get rid of that freaking tumor, yo. Just get rid of it.
Yep, man.
Yeah, I gotta be
all
honest.
of this.
That story,
Whoa! This person says you are the asshole.
Whoa!
How on earth is paying for her meals for 2 weeks someone breaking you? Either you're not as clever with money as you think you are, or you're so rigid about money that if your bank account dips, you're hyperventilating. This has to be a chick.
Yeah, it had. Oh my, that logic is not logicking. Like, that makes no sense at all. Like,
they literally operate on the basis of like we owe them for their presence, for existing.
And guys, here's the thing: if these genders were swapped, they would say not the asshole. Who are these people?
They're just entitled. They're entitled. They're either feminists or simps.
Yeah.
Like that's just it, because no person in their rational mind would be like, oh yeah, no, absolutely. She lost her job. She's not doing very much to get another one.
Yeah.
And now she's asking for money.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm already giving you shelter. I'm already paying for your food. And now you're asking for more. If you give a mouse a cookie, there's a reason why we learn that when we're children.
Lost her job.
You're a bum.
Somehow can't find another job as a physical therapist.
You're a bum.
Can't pay her rent and moved out of her apartment.
You're a bum.
Moved into his apartment.
You're a bum.
He's paying for the food.
You're a bum.
Ask him for extra money.
You're a bum.
Clown world. Guys, come on. So, but actually, guys, I'm gonna shut this bad boy down.
All right.
I'll probably be live on 50304's second channel tonight, guys. I want to do chicks getting kicked out of hotels tonight, but that'll probably be an hour later, guys, at 11. So, guys, head over to my second channel. That's 50304's, guys. I'll probably be over there. I will be over there. Look, at 10:30. You guys, we usually start at 10. I'll be live at 10:30. Let me drop the link, guys. Anyone who wants to be over there, guys, nice relaxed stream. body cam reactions, red pill. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do over there. So guys, 10:30, 51304. Guys, make sure you subscribe. Locke, thanks for being here, guys. Make sure to go over to Locke's channel. I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
And hey, guys, we're gonna do the Christian Feminism live.
What is
on Sunday, guys? So please, anyone who wants to be on the panel, guys, I'm gonna have a pretty good sized panel, right, guys? It doesn't matter if you're Christian, atheist, whatever, guys. Anyone who has a strong opinion on the fact that the Christian church, all of religion in the West, has been invaded by feminism. Guys, that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Guys, next Sunday, we're going to talk about divorce. So any of you guys who want to be on the panel and tell your story, this will be the time to do so. But all right, you guys, I appreciate you. Bye, guys. Take it easy.